to this point, I think it's been working, and we've been doing pretty good with it. So, but that's that Grand Rapids music, that gun rule music. I think that I look at myself as being one of them that's at the beginning of it, and hopefully I've done enough to where some of that sound that comes out of here, later on you'll hear some cats say, yeah, I got that sound from CeldomSeen, I got that sound from the Fist Coalition. So, give or take.
Definitely. And with that process, do you find yourself kind of going in, and when you're writing, do you kind of, go in and it's kind of, an hour plus a pen and a pad, or is it kind of, you want to, there's so much you want to say that you kind of put down what you got first and then kind of come back to it?
Yeah, it could be both. There's no set process. There's times I've went in the studio and I've spit half a verse, and then came back later and spit the other verse. My preference is to do it all right then and there. To get my main thing is to get that lead vocal just right, because everything else kind of falls into place after that, ad libs and things of that nature, doubles, whatever. But to get that lead vocal the way it's to where I'm like, yeah, okay, that's the take right there. And back in my younger days, when the ego was a little more bigger, and you hear about Jay-Z and all them cats, you would hear about him going in there. He'd do it one time and walk out the studio, and everybody be like, that was amazing. So, you go through that process after a while and you do it. But, ultimately, you just go in there and you do it and you do it, until you get it right, until it sounds right. But back then, I didn't totally understand the engineering process of it. So a lot of times you could go in there and you're spitting good, and it's, but then the engineering part of it, something that wasn't quite right on that end. So, man, you got to go in there and do that again. It ain't on you, it's on the engineer or whatever. So once you learn that process, you just make sure you go in there, you do several takes, as many takes really as it takes, to where everybody's like, okay, we got it. You're spitting good. It sounds clear, everything about it. And then once you go in and you start mixing it, little mistakes or something like